Trying something new is scary, right?
What were you most worried about?
My biggest concern
I was worried about.
I was really afraid.
In this video, I'm going to share Nathan and I's first attempt at mountain biking and my brother-in-law Peter's first attempt at a road cycling event.
I was worried about looking an idiot in my road cycling clothes.
either smashing into somebody or having somebody in front of me smash and not being able to keep up.
Some really big drops, and I don't like being on ledges.
Nathan and I said yes when Peter asked us if we'd go mountain biking on our visit to him and my sister in Vancouver. Now, I hadn't even done off-road riding at this point properly, so mountain biking in Whistler was a big jump and a big scary thing in my mind. I'd recommend start with what you're comfortable with and then push yourself a little bit outside that comfort zone. I think you'll be surprised how quickly you gain confidence in something just by pushing yourself that little bit. So Peter normally rides mountain bikes. He has ridden them for years, and so the GranFondo Whistler was his first road cycling event. Peter embraced his training for road cycling, and he got out on some road cycling rides.
All right, my journey as a road cyclist continues. Documenting the big road ride, biggest road ride of my road riding career. We're 68k in, I think 1,200 meters in, and we're about to do Seymour, which starts with a 10% climb. And I don't know how high it is. I'd rather not think about it. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. I've been trying to think of excuses to bail. I can't think of any. But there's going to be beer at the end. So hopefully I make it that far. Oh, we made it. We didn't train, but we made it.
What he soon realized was that it's important to have people around you who have experience. So he messaged me a couple times about what to wear, because how you dress mountain biking is quite different than road cycling. You have different challenges on the different types of rides. So we helped each other out that way, and he went out riding with people he knew in Vancouver who had road cycling experience to learn from them. So learning from those around you, really important, really helpful. It gives you that extra jump in skill.
This is my road bike check-in video number 2 or 3. It's been, I think, 2 months since the last one. Got my setup all tuned. Here's the rig. Chains up front in case I get to stop at a pub. Mountain bike pedals, fender, just in case rain. Mountain bike gloves. Cheapest helmet I could find. And of course the fanny. And I'm rocking the mountain bike shorts and the running shirt. Overall, it seems to work pretty well. I thought I'd comment on the journey from mountain biking to being almost a roadie. I guess maybe I'm not really a roadie. Trying to be a roadie. Probably the biggest difference is, well, there's 2. One is the bike and how twitchy it feels, and the fact that basically compared to a mountain bike, it has no brakes. So it took me a bit to get used to that. You get around that basically by making sure there are no obstacles in the way, and you don't really need to brake very often on a road bike, so that kind of works out. The twitchiness you just sort of adapt to, I think. Other big difference is, I think, in the way the rides are done, especially here in BC. If you do a mountain bike climb, you're climbing, and the thing is, at the end of the climb you've got this payback, which is the big descent. So that's the thing you look forward to on a road bike. When you're climbing, the thing that you have to look forward to is stopping. So it's a bit of a mental adjustment. So I try to end most rides at a pub. That way I've got my my thing to look forward to at the end of it. The other really big difference that I found is, because on a mountain bike ride it's so stop and go, I can pretty much just go almost all out and then wait for the stop for the rest bit. And on the road bike, it's really, really hard to pace, or at least I have a really hard time pacing myself. So still working at it, actually. I think now that I've got a heart rate monitor and I check it, I'm pretty sure I figured out my heart rate should be about 150-ish. But I'm finding whenever there's a hill, I'm hammering at like 175. So we'll see how that goes. I think if I really wanted to tune this, I would do more group rides and try and pace myself off of other people. And hopefully, if I'm ever going to do a real long ride, that's what it's going to be. So I'll need to rely on the roadies for pacing. Other than that, same deal. Turn the pedals, off you go.
In the run-up, I had hoped to get out on a mountain bike and, learn more about mountain biking before I actually got to Whistler. But unfortunately, as life is, I didn't have the chance to do that. I got some off-road experience in by taking the Diverge out onto a single track that's here in Bristol and trying to get a feel for off-road riding. And actually that was really helpful because your wheels coming, skidding out from under you or bumping against rocks and things is not a familiar feeling to me, road cycling. Despite some of the rough roads around here, just getting used to not overreacting and trusting your bike, that, did help me for when I got onto the mountain bike in Whistler.
The grounds here have cycling tracks, like actually groomed tracks for mountain bikes. So that's what I'm using today. I'll show you, give you some footage as well. I came across this, but I didn't know what was on the other side, so I stopped to take a look. Watching some people go past on it just to see how they handle it and what they do. But yeah, I've only gone like 700 meters down this trail, if that. Anyway, so I just thought I'd stop. It's just a lot of fun. Some like pump tracky bits, so it's so cool. I'm enjoying it. So let's see if I can keep my bike right side up and enjoy the rest of the track. It's 6.5K, this particular one. The thing with off-roading is you can feel like you're going really, really, really fast when you're not, because it's rough and you have to concentrate. So the concentration I'm finding riding off-road like this reminds me of when I first started riding in traffic in London, that you had to pay attention and focus because it was important to keeping on your bike. It's so much fun. It's like I said before, it's like being a kid again. So much fun. So before I knew it, the trip to Vancouver had arrived. I wasn't quite ready. Hadn't got, like I said, the lessons and things in that I had hoped to, but I didn't let that stop me. I'm not only riding with Nathan, but I'm also riding with Peter. Hello, Peter. Say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Peter is technically a mountain biker, as you can see by the combination of his kit today. He has turned roadie for us, and tomorrow we turn mountain biking for him. How are you? What are you feeling about this ride? Are you nervous?
Actually, no. I think it's because you guys are here. I know I'm in good hands.
Peter's supplying the coffee.
Hello.
Thank you. How are you finding your first road ride?
Not bad.
Fondo.
So far.
Yeah.
So far, not bad.
You're killing the hills?
Yeah. Stoked about more downhills.
Let's find out how the guys are doing. What are you guys looking forward to most at the end?
Having a beer.
Beer. Right, we've got 15K to go. Can you do it?
Yay.
Yay.
For the beer.
For the beer.
Peter successfully completed the GranFondo. He did amazingly. He smashed us on every hill, and the mountain biking strength he has is definitely showing there. So the next day, our turn, mountain biking, and we woke up to not the best weather conditions, but promise is a promise. So we got kitted up, the helmets, the knee pads, the elbow pads, the works, and got our big heavy mountain bikes. And then I realized something. I was going to have to get this big heavy mountain bike onto a chairlift, and I hadn't really thought about that or worried about it up until I saw what the situation was and how you get a mountain bike up a mountain. Luckily, there's a practice chairlift for you to give it a try, just to get a feel for how the bike hooks into it. So yeah, you hook your bike into a chairlift. It's the one in front of you, and then you get on the chairlift behind. Yeah, getting a big heavy mountain bike onto a moving chairlift is as hard as it looks, as hard as I made it look anyway. Crashes can happen on your first lap. Well, thanks for the confidence. One thing worth keeping in mind is the person who has the experience. So Peter, for example, had years of mountain biking experience. And on the chairlift on the way up to the start of the trails in Whistler, I said to him, you probably don't quite remember what it's like to be at this point in the stage and have this fear because you've done it for so long and you worked your way up, and all those things you take for granted now, you don't even think about them anymore, whereas everything is new to me. And he didn't quite know what I meant, I don't think, because road riding is still fairly new to me. So when I go out with people who are new at it, I remember the emotions they're going through and the things that they don't know, and the things that people who've done things for years take for granted. So we started down a green trail, which is a beginner trail, and there's a technical bit on that trail that you could use to learn technical skills to then be able to go up onto the harder trails. So Peter veered off onto that technical bit of the trail at one point and quickly realized that both for Nathan and I, it was a bit too scary, a bit too much. So as he started to see what I meant and realized that there's a lot of things he takes for granted that he doesn't even think about anymore. But he did give us tips, things to remember, positioning and keeping, low down, keeping your center of gravity low. He gave us all the tips, and then he realized, through seeing things through our eyes and what slowed us down and freaked us out, he started to remember what it was like to be new at it. So on the second time round, and I'm sorry I don't have any footage for you guys, I brought the GoPro, but I forgot the harness. And because the mountain biking is so technical and, braking and steering and all that's important, I couldn't get the footage going down the hill because I had to concentrate on the riding. So I apologize, I'm gutted I don't have the footage for you, but maybe the best for me not to have evidence. But anyway, the second time down the hill, because I knew what it was about and I had an idea what was coming up on the trail, I started gaining some confidence and started to really enjoy it. It was a lot of fun. Third time down, Peter took us onto a blue trail. He thought we were doing amazing, and yeah, the blue trail was too much for me. It's amazing. It doesn't look that different to the green trail, but there's something about the bends and the curves and the corners. They're different, and you need to take them at faster speeds that I wasn't yet comfortable with, especially on now this new trail that I didn't know what was around the bend. So I was, having my confidence smashed to smithereens. So back to the green trail I went after a break and catching my breath. So I'm here, Whistler mountain biking. Here is my ride. As you can see, it's dirty. It's been through 3 laps, mostly green, a blue, and yeah, it's been 2 falls, 2 crashes, very slow-mo crashes. Nice. I have padding though, so I'm geared up for crashing. No harm done. The boys have gone on another lap. I'm taking a break. My knees aren't used to the whole position on a mountain bike, so I'm just resting. I am drenched in sweat. So yeah, it's a workout of a different kind than road riding, but it is a lot of fun. Definitely there's a lot of skill involved though, and I don't have many of those skills. So it would be good to do some more maybe in Wales when I get home, but the full suspension is a lot of fun. So Nathan and Peter went up the mountain without me. Peter, like I said, has a mountain bike for years. Nathan is fearless on descents on his road bike, which I am not. So I needed a rest after the blue run, and so they went up, they smashed it. Nathan got pushed outside his comfort zone, so you could see the smile on his face. He loved it. How's that ride?
7 minutes if you believe the time.
How many minutes?
7 on the way down.
7? Is that all you were going for? Or was it a blue?
Huh?
A blue?
Yeah, different ones all read it. Lots of jumps and jumps and jumps.
Good. You got your money's worth. Look at him smile. Yeah, I'm alive. I'm happy to be alive. There was a second attempt at mountain biking on this trip when we were in the Okanagan. We went to Mount Campbell and with a friend of Peter's who lived locally. So he took us on some trails and we got to experience a different kind of mountain biking and off-road riding. So this time it was with the Rodie Can, a hardtail mountain bike. A lot of fun. We used them also on the winery tour. You can watch that video, I'll link it below as well. But yeah, we took them off-road to get a feel for what hardtail mountain biking is like on some trails. And this time around, my fear of ledges became warranted. So this trail followed along the edge of Mount Campbell and some of it had some very sheer drops. I got very nervous. I dealt with them as best I could. Peter was behind me, being as supportive and encouraging. And yeah, so I got through. I will show you my shuffle technique. It's not very good. So I put it to this ride so you can see how I get on. I feel like I got on a lot better in Whistler. That type of trail, mountain bike riding suited me better. And yeah, this trail obviously is less groomed because it's just actually the side of a mountain. And but once we got away from those ledges, you know, I was more comfortable. But you know, some of the turns were very sharp. Like there was a hairpin turn at one point, so I just had to come to a near complete stop and just get my bike around. I wasn't comfortable with speed on that because again, I don't have the technical skill. So had fun, did the best I could, but obviously there was a lot on that ride I wasn't comfortable with. But I was proud of myself when it did finish and I was still alive. Try to keep it fun when you're trying something new, keep the pressure low, and that is the beauty of being new at something. You know, you're not expected to be an expert, so embrace that, get out there, have fun, push yourselves, get outside your comfort zone. It's very satisfying, and whether you end up liking or not liking the new thing, at least you've tried something new and it makes you feel alive. So get out there, try something new. Let me know in the comments below if you have anything planned this year that's new for you. I look forward to the inspiration that you guys can give me. Thanks for watching. Until the next video.
When we cross the road off of Wankers, I just like saying that. We could do chicken noodle maybe?
Let's all do wankers. I thought there was a figure of speech and you're just trying to talk their dialect.
Conversations you thought you would never have.
Trying.
Chicken noodles.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go. All that, Michelle, wankers, chicken noodle.
I got it all.
Nice.
Sit boys, clean up, clean.